What is up YouTube? In today's video I'll be going over a simple yet detailed explanation on how to dribble effectively in VRFS, everything you need to know and different skill moves that will help you when you're in a game. We're going to get straight into the video, and I want to start off with a simple move of going side to side with the ball. So to go side to side with the ball, you want to start with the ball in front of your feet and get used to the motion of passing between your feet. Try to have your legs far apart, as well as try to have your legs close together like this. And gradually change the distance of which you're passing your feet at. Once you've learnt that, you can then try it whilst moving forward. So what I mean by this is have the ball rolling and move it forward. Whilst you're doing this, you have to move your joystick left and right to match the direction of which way the ball is going. So for example, if the ball's going to the left, I'd move my joystick to the left like this. And as you can see, I'm going side to side with the ball. And you can do it faster, with your feet closer, or you can do your feet further away. It does not really matter. But get used to doing that motion. So all you're doing is you're passing the ball between your feet and you're moving your joystick left and right. For those who are new to this, it's best for you just to start off doing it like this when you're stood still. And then if you want to get on to doing it whilst moving, move your joystick very slightly, so like this. Don't move your joystick a lot, or do slow side to side like I'm doing right now, and it'll make it easier. You shouldn't have to move your hands as much. You mostly should be able to keep your hands at your sides, so it should look something like this. As you can see, I'm barely moving my hands. I'm only very slightly moving my hands as the ball's coming towards my foot, so that I can kick it back to the other foot, whilst the ball's also getting kicked by the moving motion of me going left to right. The second dribbling technique you need to know is how to do stepovers effectively. Now, for those who have watched the last video I made on how to practice like a pro in this game, you would have noticed how I talked about how I haven't been practicing stepovers with my weak foot. I have gotten a lot more better at doing stepovers with both feet now, and I can now pair it with my side to sides. I'm improving every day with my dribbling because it just takes a lot of practice. So we'll get straight into it. A step over motion is simply having your foot next to the ball, either left or right. I'm right footed, so I'm going to start with the ball on my left side. And you're simply wrapping your foot around the ball in this motion. Get used to doing this, as well as do it with the other foot. Like that. You can also do it whilst the ball is in front of you, and wrap your legs around both your legs. Do it like this, and try to avoid the ball at all costs, but keep your feet near the ball. One thing you want to make sure you're not doing is you're not having your foot over the ball like this. Otherwise you can accidentally flick it up, or it's just less effective because you're not actually covering the ball. Say if I was to go for a step over, my foot is way too far away from the ball. You need to keep your feet in front of the ball so that if you're about to get tackled, it makes it a lot harder. To actually do a step over, the ball needs to be moving. You can't do stationary step overs. So what I mean by this is, say since I'm right footed, I will start off by passing the ball to my left foot. Once the ball is at my left foot, I would pass back to my right foot, and as I'm passing, I'd do the step over motion. So I'd pass to my right foot, do the step over motion, and then the same thing with my weak foot. So it's kind of hard to demonstrate once I'm stood still, but should look something like this. You can also do it in the reverse motion. So what I mean by this is basically like this. So step over, and I'll do it with one foot just to demonstrate. So say if I'm moving to the left, moving to the left, pass to my right foot. Obviously you don't want to, make sure you take little touches whenever you're dribbling, but it'll look just like that. And obviously it's the same thing with your weak foot, the exact same thing. Another thing you need to know is how to actually go around with the ball. So this is basically ball control and how to do 360s, 180s, basically any turns with the ball. Now there's different types of turns. For those who have watched my other practice videos, I'll go over them now. The turn that I like to use the most, because I believe it's the most effective and looks the cleanest, as well as it's allowed in leagues as well because it's not prohibited, for example, for glitch dribbling, is something that should look like this. And I'll do it again. That time with 2 feet. I messed up there, my fault. Now, I'm not the greatest at this, to be honest, but you do get the point. So, say if I want to turn around right now. Oh, that was a big touch. Hold on. Like that. So, essentially, you're using both your feet. So, say if I'm moving forward the ball and I want to go behind, so I want to make a 180 turn. You're passing the ball to your other foot and then bringing the ball around with you. Now, you can do it like this. So, basically, using both your feet. So, you're doing side to sides around. But I'm not the greatest at this. So, let me see if I can do it like that, actually. That kind of worked. But it should look something like this. Well, I messed up heavily there. Just a quick caution. You will get dizzy for those who are new to doing this. It takes time to get used to. Especially if you're doing it a lot. But it will look something like this. So you're just starting off with the ball at either side. Passing to your other foot and using that foot to bring it back around. So, I had my foot too close. But, just like that. Another way to go around with the ball is basically a glitch dribble way. However, certain leagues will allow you to do this as long as you don't do it for a certain amount of time. For example, 3 seconds I believe it is in most leagues. So all you're doing is, say if I want to turn around, I'm moving with the ball. If I want to turn around, all I'll do is basically that. So, for those who know how to glitch dribble, you're basically grabbing the ball like that. You can also flick it up as well. So to flick it up, you're just bringing it up like that. And that's how you flick it up. But, like that. Say if I was going this direction and I want to turn around like that. Obviously you don't have to flick it up if you don't want to. I believe it's personally more effective if you flick it up, but it's really whatever you prefer. All you have to do this is simply, as you're moving with the ball, have your feet wrapped around the ball like this, so the ball is stuck between your feet. As the ball is stuck between your feet like this, you're simply turning around or turning to whatever direction you need and bringing the ball around with you. Now you can either do it where your feet are at both sides of the ball like this, or you can do it with one foot where you're simply wrapping it around like this. I personally don't do it like that because I believe it's less effective, and it's kind of what we did the first time, not glitch dribbling. So, but yeah, I don't do that. Or you can do it what I like to call the triangle method, or the pyramid method, where you do it like that and wrap it around. It's really however you prefer. A glitch dribble is a glitch dribble. Basically, as long as you've got secure connection with the ball and it won't go away unless you're flicking it up, then you'll be fine. For example, like this. As you can see, like that. The next thing you need to know is how to actually flick the ball up in the air and how to win your aerials whilst you're dribbling. So one thing you need to know is how to actually flick the ball. So there's multiple different ways you can do it. So there's a rainbow flick, which I'm not the greatest at. However, to do a rainbow flick, you're using mainly your ankles, like this, and you're flicking up like this. So this is the motion you should be doing. Like that, but obviously I messed it up. I can only really do it when I'm moving. Hold on. You need to do it on the edge of the bowl as well. Like that, but obviously you get more height on it. Let me try again. That was good enough. Like that. That's good enough. That's probably the best I'll get because I haven't practiced rainbow flicks in a while. Another form of flick is literally just going under the ball and flicking it up like so. It's good if you're trying to get volleys, except that one was terrible, but you get the point. So say if I'm having the ball, I need to flick it up like that. Very simple. You're just putting your foot under the ball, flicking it up. The thing that I like about this is it's much easier. However, it doesn't look as flashy. It can be quite easy to block. For example, if I'm moving to the left, I can flick it up. It's very good if you're trying to chip someone as well. If you're trying to chip someone, you can do it like that. Or obviously with your instep. Doesn't really matter. But it's pretty much the same exact thing. And the last types of flicks are basically doing it like this. So when the ball is stationary or somewhat stationary, you can simply have your feet at the side of the ball go under very slightly. Where the ball bends in a way, you're flicking your feet together. Now, I'm not the greatest at this, and this method isn't that effective because of the new ball physics update. However, it still works, as you can see. It works good enough. If I can... As you can see, it's mainly useful if you're trying to do half volleys. Because it doesn't flick that high up anymore unless it's just me. But yeah, just like that. And my final flick technique is literally just bringing the ball up and flicking it. So it's the same thing as doing it like this with one foot. However, say if I was dribbling, you're actually bringing the ball up like that. Or you're having the ball at the side of your feet like that. So the way this is good is because say if someone is in front of me, I need to flick it over them. So I'm moving forward like that. Obviously that was way too high. But like that. You can also use it for half volleys, same as every other flick. Or even normal volleys, but that was a better one, except I just messed up the finishing. Like that. So have your feet at the side of the ball and bring it up like that. Your feet shouldn't be under the ball. They can be under the ball, but just not as much. But just make sure you're doing that motion like that. That was a perfect one. Now most people may be wondering, how do I actually dribble in a game? Now basically all you need to know, or the best method in my opinion, is to go on a map just like Mr. Blue's trainer map, which I will put the code in the description. Go check out Mr. Blue. His socials are right there. It's literally Mr. Blue without the E. Go check him out. But basically how to dribble in a game, first obviously you need to practice at the different dribbling techniques that I have taught you. So that's step overs, side to sides, flicks and so on. And simply if you go on a map like this where you can practice dribbling, or you can go on my own map, and all you have to do is literally just go around the targets. Obviously I've never been this good at this, to be honest, but I'm not the type of guy to dribble that much, I will be honest. I know how to dribble, I just don't dribble that much. I never see the need to, but you can practice it like this. And all you need to do is literally just get used to doing this, practice. There is many other maps as well, you don't have to use Mr. Blue's, however I personally think Mr. Blue's is one of the favourite maps. Well, my favourite maps, it's one of the best maps in my opinion. If you're trying to practice dribbling, because it literally has everything, it's not just dribbling. But just make sure you can get past the targets. Best way is literally just practice dribbling in a game. And another thing that you need to know is how to take little touches. Now when people are dribbling, they tend to do something like this. So say if I'm doing a step over, they take a big touch where they have to use a lot of their sprint. The whole point of dribbling is to keep control of the ball whilst getting past your defender or your opponent, as well as basically saving stamina. You don't really need to use stamina when you're dribbling, unless, say if there's someone in front of me, I want to get past them. You need to know when to take your big touch. Say if there's an opponent in front of me, take my big touch, run. Or for example, pair it with side to sides, like this. Take a big touch, and then run, like that. To actually get good at dribbling, it takes practice. I recommend going in real games, especially pub matches, if you're trying to practice dribbling. It's best to do 1v1s, because then you'll have the most ball possession, or 2v2s. Especially if you're going against a friend, I'd recommend doing it against your friends, so you can actually have more ball possession. if they let you. And just get used to pairing different skill moves together. So another way I like to do it is going into free practice like I am now, and literally just free dribbling, so doing step overs, side to sides, little flicks within my dribbling. So if I'm doing step overs and I needed to flick someone like that, and obviously if you want to, for that flick that I said about earlier, you can bring it higher and flick it over someone's head. Or obviously if you're doing it from behind you, you can flick it over like that. Doesn't really matter, obviously you can do it however you like. A flick's a flick. But yeah. So all it takes is practice. Do skill moves in public matches as well as going to solo practice. And literally just walk around and dribble. For example, like I'm doing now. Practice your side to sides. Make sure you're not going in one direction. Have some switches every now and then, so change directions just like I'm doing. And you'll get better at dribbling in no time. Thank you all for watching this video. It was a short one, however, as I said, it is a quick, simple and easy explanation on how to dribble for those who are struggling. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Take care everyone. Goodbye.